Welcome back, everyone, to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your co-host, Pat Curran. Joining me, as always, are the two best fantasy football minds around. You know them as Brad the Dad and Josh the Boss. Got a great episode ahead of us today. We'll be breaking down the NFC North and also throwing in some love-hate action on players with PPR, ADPs, it's a lot of acronyms, between 25 and 50. If you like what you hear on this episode and want to ask some questions or recommend different topics for our future episodes, which we'd love to hear from you, go ahead and tweet at us on our podcast at EmptyWagonFF, or find us on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, or we actually have our own website. Still in beta though, so give us a break on that. But plenty of social media avenues to follow and reach out to us on. Let's check in with the guys, as this is our first episode in what feels like forever that we're all in the same place. So it should get pretty wild. Brad, how you been?
I've been good. It's nice we're all here together. The only problem is now we have three mics echoing off each other, so this should be fun.
Oh.
Well, we'll fix it in post.
That means
you said that last time, and it didn't.
Well, I mean, I don't handle the post-production. That's
so
Brad.
So you're just going to say, okay, well, that's
yeah, Brad will fix it in post.
Yep, that's what it sounds like.
Pressure's on me. Josh, you're walking.
Yeah, that's what people do.
Not you for the past 2 months.
I've known you for 2 years, and you haven't walked for 1 full year of that.
That's not true. No, I'm off crutches, and I'm walking like a champ. Like I've been doing my whole life, basically.
Any new additions to the family you want to shout out?
Yeah, I got a new dog, a puppy.
His
name is Wolfie Cupcakes. My kids named him, and I love it so much with all my heart. Because I just turned 30, so that's what I got for my present.
Nice.
I made it to 30, so we'll see see if I make it to 40.
Wow, okay.
Very optimistic.
All right, before we get into our reports and rumors, just want to give a shout out and thank you to our awesome partner, Blue Spade Productions, for the help and guidance they provide with social media marketing and listener interactions. Check them out on Twitter at Blue Spade Pro. Reports and rumors this week. We got DeMarco Murray is gone. He's retired. What do you guys think?
I mean, he says he's retired, but he's officially pushed the button and put the paperwork in because they say there's still some teams interested. So I really want to see how this offseason plays out.
Who cares?
What do you mean, who cares?
DeMarco Murray's washed.
You can't say washed about everybody.
He is washed. So the old triplets, Tony Romo, DeMarco Murray, and Dez, they're all washed.
Well, Tony Romo is not washed as a commentator.
Or a golfer. He's actually a pretty good golfer.
Give it a year or two. He'll be washed.
All right. Clearly no one cares about DeMarco Murray retiring. Some other news. Adrian Peterson said, I'd like Bradford to be the starter. What do you guys think of that?
Well, they went to college together, so that's probably why. They were roommates, I think, in college. So no wonder. Duh.
Okay, well, you don't want to see Josh Rosen get the ball more?
Personally, he will, because Bradford will get hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is about week one starter, though.
Yeah, he'll be the week one starter.
I want Bradford to be the week one starter.
He will be.
Because I want to watch him get hurt.
I'd rather see Rosen. It's more interesting. Gurley said he wants NBA money. So do I.
Yeah, don't
and
know.
T.O.'s Hall of Fame boycott. What do you guys think of that?
Why does he want NBA money? Shouldn't he want MLB money? That's where the real money's at.
He said NBA. He said he just wants, he would like, just 80 million, whatever. That's all he wants.
Because it's guaranteed. That's the big difference. Well, I mean, it's guaranteed in baseball too, but NBA, I mean, the short term, I mean, you got guys who are making max money. Some of those guys are making $30 million a year over a 4-year span. That's a pretty nice little paycheck.
It is.
LeBron got $154 million for 4 years. That's pretty good money. I'll take it.
Are we going to talk about the biggest news to break over the week? We're going to talk about LeSean McCoy in the news.
Is that really?
I mean,
it's news.
It's very big news. I mean, we just talked about Jameis Winston last week. He got suspended for allegations.
Is McCoy getting suspended?
I mean, I think the writing's on the wall. He's going to face some kind of suspension.
He said it was fake news. So
Jameis admitted to what he did.
Yeah, but Jameis said fake news in the very beginning, too. And we got police reports with LeSean McCoy's name in them.
But it wasn't LeSean McCoy who did this. It was other people who did it. She said that it wasn't him who actually committed the assault.
Right. And Ray Cruz didn't commit the assault either. I don't think Pat remembers that.
We'll wait and see about LaShawn McCoy. That's it for reports and rumors.
Well, I mean, just bring up the shady thing. Will this affect you guys? Will this affect you guys drafting him?
Yeah, of course. I mean, if we hear any news about it coming up, or if the NFL is actually looking into it, but it's getting a lot closer to the offseason. I mean, a lot closer to the season. So I think he'll probably be suspended next year.
No commissioner exempt list or anything like that, you don't think?
Honestly, I don't know. But if he is on the commissioner's radar, we know how this stuff plays out. You very rarely get away from some sort of punishment.
I mean, he's an over 30 running back who people are saying is going to decline anyway. A lot of people are down on him anyway. So
does this mean Chris Ivory gets a little spike up for you?
Yeah. Yes, he does. Because he's the running back there. They've already came out and said it. He's the running back if LaShawn McCoy misses any time.
And they do need a running back since they have nothing else on offense.
But like you said, it's something to monitor and watch. But everybody I just be watching all the news out there about LaShawn McCoy.
Fantastic. You guys done with reports and rumors? Anything to add?
I'm good. Josh, anything?
No.
You want to talk about any more Wash players?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of guys I think are Wash.
All right.
Let's hit up our podcast for public.
What's that?
Let's hit up our podcast for public.
I know. I'm about to.
Okay, well, we're just waiting.
All right. Well, thanks for that transition, Josh. Before we get this wagon rolling into our NFC North breakdown, just want to say to all to listen to the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast on an Android device. Josh doesn't. Do us a favor and go to Google Play Store and download the Podcast Republic app. It's a fantastic app that allows you to get all your favorite podcasts directly on an Android device. Josh, are you using this app?
Yeah, I actually have an Android phone too. Brad's the one without an Android phone.
Oh, are you using the Podcast Republic app?
Every time, that's how I download all my podcasts.
Do you love the Podcast Republic app?
I really do. I enjoy the interface on it. It's pretty easy to maneuver, and it's nice and smooth, like Skippy Peanut Butter.
Just like Skippy Peanut Butter, nice and smooth. Search all your podcasts, set them as favorites, one click away. Make sure to add Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast as a favorite so you don't miss any episodes or takes from the guys. Again, that's Podcast Republic app. NFC North breakdown. You guys ready?
As ready as I will be.
Gonna be doing it a little different than the past divisional breakdown. Still PPR format, what we're referring to. He'll mention some ADPs. Josh might not because he's just going to talk today apparently. And then if they're worth mentioning. But instead of all the numbers and figures, just going to be three guys talking about the NFC North this week and why the players on certain teams are going to help or hurt your fantasy teams. Anything to add?
Nope.
All right.
Great intro to it.
You think
Great
so?
job, Pat.
Smooth as a baby's butt.
All right, so I got Detroit and Minnesota. Josh had Chicago, so get ready for some Trey Burton love. And then Brad has Green Bay. Where you guys want to kick it off, Detroit?
Let's do it.
Yeah, dude.
All right. You guys are so motivated this morning.
I actually really do like the NFC North. I was surprised at what kind of a gold mine this thing really is.
Interesting.
There's some nice value in the NFC North.
There's a lot of muddled areas, though, too.
Got to agree with Brad on that.
A lot of muddy backfields on receiving cores.
Yes. And Detroit's nothing to get really real excited about, so we'll kick it off there naturally. Matt Stafford, ADP of 104, which means he's the number 10 QB taken, which is pretty good. If you're getting Stafford at, 10th round, you got to be pretty happy about that. And he's actually going right after Jimmy G, which isn't really surprising because of how many people are really high on the 49ers this year. But Stafford continues to be a reliable and consistent quarterback, and he won't lose you any games. So I don't see that changing this year. He still has some pretty good weapons around him and a new head coach that wants to win. All right, moving on to running backs, unless you guys want to add anything about Stafford.
No, I mean, he's a late round quarterback that'll do you good. You can play him almost every week.
Yeah, 10th round's where I could target QBs to get Stafford there. It's a great value.
You say that, but in the mock draft, you took one like in the 4th round. But
all right, let's
because I won that draft.
See, I told you. All right, running backs. This backfield is extremely crowded, and it's also the worst rushing attack in 2017. So they got that going for them. They have addressed the offensive line, but even if they're the number 30 rushing attack in the league, it's still an improvement. So what are they really going for? LeGarrette Blount, ADP of 142, which is running back 54. Yeah, he's old and slow. But he doesn't fumble, though. And it might be what a defensive-minded head coach is looking for, i.e. Belichick in New England and now Patricia in Detroit. So maybe Matt Patricia is trying to find that magic that Belichick had in 2016 with Blunt. I think you can all remember that was his last really productive year. So I wouldn't really reach on Blunt. I think if you get him in like round 14 or 15, you're doing pretty good. Other than that, I'd pretty much stay clear of him. However, I would take him over Theo Riddick or Abdullah's not even going to be drafted. So I'll just put that out there. It's too crowded. He's not that good. He's not better than Johnson, Riddick, or Blunt. So you can steer clear of Amir Abdullah. Pick him up if one of those guys gets injured. I would take Blunt over Riddick, which Riddick's ADP is 135 and Blunt's is 142. So Riddick's going before Blunt. Makes Riddick RB 47. He's a decent option, but not flashy. If I'm going to draft a guy in round 14, 13, 15, late rounds, I want to go more with a risk. Some guy's going to be either a boom or bust, because it could be a boom. Riddick's just a boring option. He's not going to be a boom. He's probably not going to be a bust either. But I'd rather take a guy like Blunt, who maybe he captures some of that magic that he had back in 2016.
Just to speak on that real quick.
Okay.
LeGarrette Blunt, you're banking on touchdowns. I mean, that's where all his touchdowns, and maybe you're not getting any passing work, especially in PPR.
No.
Theo Riddick, we saw 2 years ago when Amir Abdullah got hurt and all the other running backs got hurt. He carried and was a top 20 running back. In a PPR format, he is a sleeper, really good running back that you can plug in on bye week.
You're counting on injuries.
Well, no, you're just counting on passing work. Because like we said, LeGarrette Blunt isn't catching the ball.
Well, carry on.
Yep. Hype train there. Rookie running backs don't have good pass blocking skills. Theo Riddick, Matt Stafford's trusting back there. So on third downs, you're actually going to get Theo Riddick in the backfield, where I think Kerryon won't be in the backfield on third downs.
Well, Kerryon Johnson has the best ADP of all these running backs, 72, which makes him running back 32 taken. People are high on, like you said, he is a young rookie running back, but he is talented. Maybe add some life into that worst backfield in 2017, in case you guys forgot. But it's crowded, so do you really want to take Kerryon Johnson in the 7th round?
No.
Wow, Josh said no.
Yeah, I don't want to.
That's because he's really going to take him like round 4.
No, it's too high. Like you said, there's too many mouths to feed in that backfield. And I do love Kerryon Johnson, but you have to be realistic here. Can you get a better value in the 7th round there? And you absolutely can. He's getting taken too high, and that's because last year we saw people jumping on these running backs, and the rookies performed pretty well for the most part outside of Joe Mixon. And, people are hoping to catch some more of that lightning in a bottle. But in this situation, with all those guys in that backfield, it's too high.
I would agree with that, and he's also the highest ADP of all those backs. So the rookie hype is real for Kerryon Johnson. Not really going to talk about tight ends for Detroit because there's really not any tight ends in Detroit other than Luke Wilson, who's an undrafted ADP, and they're probably just going to focus tight ends on blocking schemes more to help with that backfield.
Yeah.
All right, wide receivers. Golden Tate, ADP of 46 and wide receiver 21. He's the number 1 wide receiver in Detroit, puts up consistent numbers, has a decent quarterback. Easy girl. I like Golden Tate as a wide receiver 2 or a flex. I don't like him as your wide receiver 1. And we'll get into that later when we get into our ADP 25 to 50 love-hate. The reason I don't like where Golden Tate's going is because you can just get much better talent where he's being taken. I don't want to spoil your guys' take on Golden Tate. So.
Well, I can't wait. I'm just being quiet right now.
I know you are. It's odd. Marvin Jones, ADP of 59, wide receiver 26. Which is interesting because he pretty much put up the same numbers as Golden Tate in 2017. He's the wide receiver 2 in Detroit because Golden Tate's wide receiver 1, but he's been productive. But I don't know. Would you guys take Marvin Jones in the 5th round or the 6th round?
Maybe. I don't know. It depends on what my team construction looks like because usually I go really running back heavy, so I do have to take a wide receiver.
Yeah, I in the 6th round, yeah.
Are you waiting for Marvin Jones to just like backfire on you like one year he just doesn't put up numbers or be productive? Because that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the year that Marvin Jones just kills your team because you wasted a high draft pick on him.
This is your 3rd year together with the quarterback. He had some really big flashes in his first season with Matt Stafford. 2nd year, he kind of leveled off a little bit, and he finished as a wide receiver 1. I don't know, in 12-team leagues. So I don't know if you guys are aware of that. So to get a guy who you could steal in the 6th round, and if he finishes, again, as a wide receiver, even as a wide receiver 2, which he probably will, based on that awful running game that you're hoping that they're going to fix, but probably not. I think it's great value to get a guy like that in the 6th round. Of course, it's great value. Just because you don't like the way he looks or the appearance of his game or anything like that, it doesn't mean that he doesn't put up numbers.
The problem I have with Marvin Jones is that he's getting drafted around the same time as like Sammy Watkins, Michael Crabtree, Corey Davis, who I'm taking probably all those guys over him.
True.
Because they have higher upsides.
Yes.
But you're sitting there, and if you get a guy who has, the potential to be a solid, steady receiver like Golden Tate, I mean, it just depends on what you want. Do you want the boom or do you want, a solid production?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Marvin Jones is a boom or bust type player too. Because even last year, he had down weeks, and then all of a sudden he came on strong.
He's all boom, dude. He's all boom. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, when he explodes in your face and destroys your team. Yep. Boom.
Well,
all right. And the only Kenny Galladay, last guy we'll talk about for Detroit, ADP at 143. He's a guy I'd be willing to take a chance on with their late round pick. I think he has a lot of talent. And I think that's kind of the reason I'm a little low on Marvin Jones, because I think Kenny Galladay will maybe take some of that workload away from him. But if you can pick this guy up in round 13 or beyond, you got to be pretty happy with it.
Yeah. I think that's another thing, like you said, is going to hurt Marvin Jones is, are they going to try to run the ball more there? And if they try to run the ball more, they're not obviously going to have to throw the ball, so that's going to take away from Marvin Jones' targets. And then if you talk about Kenny Galladay taking a step forward, because we've talked on this on the show a lot, rookie wide receivers usually don't pan out their first year. It takes them a couple years to get the offense down, especially when you're playing with like a Matt Stafford, who probably runs a sophisticated offense, I'm guessing. He's a pretty good quarterback. Probably isn't running like a John Fox style offense.
Josh like that one. All right, that's it from Detroit. Any last additions you guys want to talk or hit on with Detroit?
News did come out that Amir Abdullah probably will make the team, and they're probably going to cut Washington. Dwayne Washington.
The fact that that's news that he will make the team just tells you everything about not.
I think they're trying to shop him around, trying to trade him because he is really cheap. Like he's on a cheap rookie deal. That's why he's
not a bad running back.
He's just not healthy.
He's just in a crowded.
He's not good.
When he's had his opportunities, he's gotten hurt, and that's been the problem with it.
Or whenever they feed him the ball 20 times, he gets 2.9 yards per carry.
Yeah, we brought up the offensive line woes there, and that's why they don't run the ball. So, yeah, they got a lot of talent in the running back core, but I just don't see it panning out.
There's only one thing you need to know about Detroit. Stat Mafford, okay?
We already talked about him. And we gave him the props that he deserves.
That's all you need to know.
You ready for Green Bay?
Oh, yeah, let's do Green Bay here.
All right.
Let's fire it up.
Fire it up.
Let's go. We got 2 AA Rons on this list, so it should be fun. Yep, we got AA Ron Rodgers. I don't know if you saw the golf tournament he was at where he threw the ball to the guy.
I did, yeah. That was actually pretty cool.
And everybody's like, oh, man, look at the pass. That was a really good catch, though. The guy threw his hat back into his boat, then dove in the water and caught the ball.
Well, yeah, I mean, he knew the water was going to break his fall. So
yeah, I'm just saying, like, the fact that dude was like, all right, I'm going for it. Like, full bore.
Aaron Rodgers throws you a pass.
Yeah, and he caught it. Like, he came through. Like, it was a great pass. But let's just get into, like, real fantasy football talk about Aaron Rodgers, right? He's the number one quarterback on the board every draft. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, who's better, Deshaun Watson?
Tom Brady.
Okay, you can say Tom Brady all you want, but Aaron Rodgers has finished higher than Tom Brady almost every year that he's been healthy.
That's the issue.
But, I mean, last year he even came back. Had they had an actual shot at the playoffs, he would have played more last year towards the end in your fantasy playoffs.
Yeah, maybe.
Because that's why. Because they, good old Brett Hundley couldn't keep him in the playoff picture.
Surprise, surprise.
Yep. So Aaron Rodgers, number one. He's ADP at 34. Last year, his pace was for another 3,500-yard season, which is pretty much just chalk it up. He's always got great touchdown interception numbers, so you don't have to worry about that. I don't really know what to say about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
34.
have to say much to Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
No. I mean, ADP 34, I'm probably not taking him there, but somebody will in your league. Probably
It's not a bad pick. I mean, he's
yeah.
QB1.
In standard leagues, I might go with the quarterback a little earlier just because quarterback scores a lot of points. Now let's get into these wide receivers, right? We got Adams. Devontae Adams.
Josh's boy.
Yeah, I know, Josh's boy. ADP of pick 18. He's the 7th wide receiver coming off the board, which I think is way too high.
Love it.
He's going before A.J. Green, Mike Evans, Doug Baldwin, Josh Gordon, and Josh's other boy, Adam Thielen. These are all guys you can get a round or two later than Devontae Adams. Who, Josh, how many times has Devontae Adams played for a whole season? Has he ever done that?
Well, he's young. So.
He's young. He's young. He's young.
So he's going to get better when he gets older, huh?
Yeah, he'll get healthier as the years go on.
That makes
That's
sense.
normally how that works.
Oh, okay.
He only broke 100 yards in one game last year.
Because he gets those TDs, bro.
He does get TDs.
And Brett Hundley was his quarterback.
That is true. But a lot of his games were with Brett Hundley, and they were actually better games than when Aaron Rodgers was there. And I don't know if you guys know this, but they drafted a lot of wide receivers.
Just a few.
But they're not going to play. They're all rookies, like we just talked about. Rookies don't do anything. Look, and Jordy Nelson's gone.
Yeah, Jordy is gone. You're right.
And like you said, we don't really need to talk about Aaron Rodgers because he's the best quarterback in the league. Okay, so guess what? Who's number one wide receiver is? Devontae Adams.
But can he be a number one?
Get off my back. Yeah, he could be a number one, dude.
Can he be the number one?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. 100%. Billion%.
Well, let's go into...
Good takes.
We'll talk about the other wide receivers there. Randall Cobb. He's got an ADP of 86. I think he could be like a poor man's Jarvis Landry.
He's gross.
He's going to get you a lot of receptions, maybe not a lot of touchdowns. Health is another issue for him, too. I mean, when you look at this, I think that's why Green Bay took a lot of wide receivers in the draft, is because it seems like every year they have multiple wide receivers.
He's got very nice eyes.
He does. And he played in a good college, too.
Kentucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the difference between Cobb and Parker? Sorry, not Parker. Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams is better.
I think Cobb's more of a slot guy.
But Cobb had the same opportunity that Devontae Adams had, which is to be the wide receiver one.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be the wide receiver one. I think he's going to be, like I said, he'll be like a poor man's Jarvis Landry. He had 92 targets last year, and like we said, that was without Aaron Rodgers. So he could get to that 100-target threshold, catches about 60, 70%. That's in PPR. That's 70 points right there, easy points. I mean, that's what we look for with Julian Edelman-type receivers and stuff like that. So
It's true.
he could be a nice late pickup in your draft. Take a flyer on him.
What round are you taking him?
So
What's his ADP?
86. So he is
So 8th round?
8th, 9th round. Yeah, you can probably get him in there. And some people he's a 36 wide receiver off the board in the same round as like a Cooper Kupp and Devontae Parker and even his boy Jordy, who we know you love.
I'm taking Jordy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you got the rest of these wide receivers. You got Geronimo Allison.
I love Geronimo.
Are you going to mention all these rookies?
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting into.
Oh, jeez.
Jamon Moore, who they took first, actually, even though Equinemius St. Brown, I think, is being in all the offseason high.
Equinemius.
It was actually the third wide receiver they took. They went wide receiver round 4, 5, and 6 in the draft. All these wide receivers' ADPs are about the same. You're talking super late, if even drafted at all. You can take a flyer on one. I would probably take the flyer on Moore just because he was the first one they took. So obviously that's what they had on the board. That's what
just take a flyer off the first one.
Yeah. I mean, until we see what preseason games, see what they look like with Aaron Rodgers.
I think the long play, though, is definitely Equinemius.
Yeah, if you're in like a dynasty and you want to set on him, but I don't know if he'll actually pan out.
Yeah.
And then you got the running backfield back there. So the other Aaron Jones, we talked about last podcast, suspended
Nice little suspension coming his
for
way.
2 games. And last year, his only games were when all the other running backs got hurt. Jamal Williams, he's the first one with ADP. His ADP is 83. Aaron Jones is 95. And then Ty Montgomery, which actually surprised me, ADP of 101.
Well, I like that.
That's. I mean, 10th round, get you a PPR running back. I mean, I think he's going to be more like you talked about Theo Riddick. He'll fill more of that Theo Riddick role, third down back. Maybe even slotting back in the wide receiver every now and then, since they probably do have some holes at wide receivers with this young wide receiving core. I mean, I like Ty Montgomery better. I think Jamal Williams is going to be the first and second down back. I think he's going to take over the backfield with Aaron Jones on suspension. What do you guys think?
Just plodding his way.
Plodding his way. Somebody's got to fall in the end zone, right?
Yeah. Aaron.
Aaron Jones?
Yeah.
On suspension?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. And that's about it for, Green Bay. Oh, then you got, that one guy.
Yeah, that one guy. Yeah.
Jimmy Graham,
Yeah.
Possibly number 1 tight end.
Maybe.
On Green Bay, yes.
I mean,
We don't know that.
I just said it again. Like, they have a young wide receiving core that we're not really high on any of the guys there, really.
Well, we aren't.
We aren't. Me and Pat aren't. Josh
high.
loves Devontae Adams
I
and
do.
a soft nugget.
I
I think Jimmy Graham will do a lot of what he did like in Seattle last year. Red zone, touchdowns.
Do you have his ADP?
His ADP is 52, so 5th round.
gross.
4th or 5th round.
It's still high for a lot of speculation.
It is, but like we've talked about, once those tight ends, once you get rid of the top 5 tight ends, you're flipping a coin if your tight end's going to be good or not, and what week is he going to be good. I mean, he'll fall right in there. He'll probably finish the season as, somewhere between, 4th tight end.
Or 5.
5. And maybe even 1 or 2 if he gets the touchdowns like he did last year. I mean, last year he lived off the touchdowns. He might only get 1 or 2 catches and then touchdowns, and you're happy with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad with it.
Yeah. Like I said, it's probably a little early for a tight end that you don't trust when you could get other players in that same area. But
It's not that you don't trust Jimmy Graham. It's just, how is he going to be used in Green Bay?
amazingly,
Has Aaron Rodgers ever used a tight end amazingly?
has he ever had a tight end with Jimmy Graham's pedigree?
Yeah,
Who?
that one guy.
Exactly.
That one guy.
That one guy.
What is that, Michael Finley? Is that him?
You're comparing to Michael Finley to Jimmy Graham.
Physical specimen.
Well,
I-
this really went off the rails.
Yeah.
No, you're right.
He's
You're
the
right.
best
He has
tight end.
not had a tight end
Yeah.
to the Jimmy Graham caliber.
Yeah.
Anything to add on Green Bay over there, Josh? Or are you just getting ready for Chicago?
Yeah, there's nothing really.
I think Green Bay is what Green Bay is. I think if you played fantasy, you know what you get from the Green Bay players.
Yeah. You get a lot of touchdowns from Devontae.
Okay.
All right.
You guys ready for the Bears?
Yeah.
The Bears.
All right. Take it away, Josh, with Chicago. Probably going to start off with Mitchell Trubisky, I'm guessing.
Yeah, and so the coaches come out this week and said that the training wheels are coming off.
That's great. Great news.
I mean,
Yeah. I know you actually like Mitchell Trubisky. You
Yeah.
think that he's going to have a pretty decent year this year.
better
It's
than
better
last-
than Glennon.
It's got to be better than last year, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be. I mean, it literally has to be, or he'll be fired. He won't be fired. He'll be benched. Mitchell Trubisky, he's the 26th overall quarterback getting taken off the board, actually going after a guy named Baker Mayfield, believe it or not. Yeah, I know, which is kind of strange because Baker Mayfield's not even a starter. Mitchell Trubisky is, and he's got really good weapons, but I'm still not high on Mitchell Trubisky yet based off what we saw last year, but he is getting away from John Fox. So, I mean, there's a high possibility that he could be a lot better. Matt Nagy is a really good offensive-minded coach. We know that.
I'm confused.
What?
You said John Fox? That's not what you call him.
Oh, Jeff Fox.
There you go.
Jeff Fox, yeah. Well, you guys know how I feel about those guys. So I do think he could be better. And if you're looking at him as to be your second quarterback, if you do take 2 QBs in one team, in one QB leagues, it could be a pretty good value for you because he's the 26th overall quarterback. I mean, I'm not really high on him. I definitely wouldn't rely on him to be my number one. But for a guy with the weapons that he has, yeah, I like him. All right, now the running backs. Is there anything you want to add to Mitchell?
No, like you said, he's a good guy to stream. Like, don't use him against Minnesota, but use him, when he goes places playing bad defense.
Don't draft Baker Mayfield before Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, well, maybe. All right, definitely don't draft Baker Mayfield before Mr. Trubisky unless you're in like a dynasty league or something and you're really high on him. So those are running backs. So we got Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen. I really do. I like the running backs actually, and I think that Jordan Howard's going to continue to improve. I know he's got to be working on catching some passes, and Tariq Cohen is going to be more of an outlet. He's still going to be the pass catching back. He's a small guy, so you do have to worry about that. But Jordan Howard is the 15th running back being taken overall. 15th running back, and he's put up over 1,000 yards every year. Has been their starter.
And he said he worked on his hands in the offseason.
He had to work on those hands because he's basically playing with 2 clubs.
Yeah.
It was awful.
I dislike Jordan Howard.
Okay, so you just like Jordan Howard, yes, but you're going to take him behind a guy like Jerick McKinnon, who's going before him.
One thing that
Because Jerick McKinnon has really proven that he can be the guy.
the one thing John Fox did last year
yes.
was he fed Jordan Howard the ball. Like, he was getting 30, 40 carries a game. So I don't know what the new offense is going to look like. If you take the training wheels off Mitchell Trubisky, does that hurt his value with not getting the amount of carries that he got before? That is the one thing. Because if he doesn't improve the passing game, Because like you said, his hands were terrible.
Which, I mean, they still have Tariq Cohen for that. I think Tariq Cohen's going to get a lot of the catches out of the backfield. And they're going to utilize their running backs to kind of help get Mitchell Trubisky a little bit, get him calm and steady, just like you do in the beginning of the games. Now that he actually has a coach who can develop him. Yeah. John Fox has never developed anyone.
Didn't Cohen get a lot of the work last year?
Yeah, he did.
Passing work.
Did he really put up a lot?
He did in the beginning of the year, yes.
Yeah. And even the games when he got, I think, 10, 15 carries, Jordan Howard got like 25 carries. They never split it 50-50. It was always a 80-20 split.
And there were games when, Mitchell Trubisky would throw the ball like
under 10 times.
So,
which that's like Air Force college football.
Oh, I love Air Force college football.
No, it's more like the Navy.
Anyway, those guys are great values. I love them. I love the Chicago running backs, especially in PPR. If you're not in PPR, Tariq Cohen doesn't need to be on your radar at all. Jordan Howard, though, standard or PPR, we deal with PPR, but to get him as your RB2, he's the 25th pick overall. I think the 15th running back overall. That's a great value. So you say whatever you want to about him, but he's proven it. Now, the wide receivers, Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson has an ADP of 40 overall. He's the 17th wide receiver being taken overall. The guys that are going around him, a little bit before him is Stephon Diggs, Amari Cooper, and Josh Gordon. Right after him, you got Juju, Brandon Cooks, and Larry Fitzgerald. So this is a guy who I really like, Allen Robinson. However, the year that I drafted him, he burned me.
Yeah, we'll just go ahead and hit my love because he was going to be on my love, Allen Robinson, and I agree with everything you say. I don't know how you take Juju or Demaryius Thomas or Amari Cooper before Allen Robinson, who is the number one wide receiver in this offense.
Yeah, the only guy that I'm looking that's even close to him might be Larry in PPR.
Yeah, and even Larry, your questions about quarterback and offensive line getting the ball and all that.
Absolutely. I really like Allen Robinson. I think he's going to come back healthy this year. They paid him the money. Allen Robinson is going to be the guy. Outside of Allen Robinson, as far as the receivers goes, they have like a hodgepodge of guys that they just picked up. So I'm not really banking on any of those other guys to do a whole lot. I do, however, think that the tight end,
oh boy,
Mr. Trey Burton,
cue the music,
will be involved. Sorry, guys. I'm not going to deny my love for him whenever I know he's the 10th tight end getting taken overall, 95th. 95th. Means he's going in the 10th round in 10-team leagues. That's not a deal, guys. That's a steal. Actually, no. He hasn't proven a lot. So we're being honest about this. He hasn't proven a lot. And the guys that are going after him, though, you got Jack Doyle, George Kittle, Tyler Kreifert, and David Njoku.
What'd you just call him?
Kreifert. Yeah, he's always hurt, so he's always crying. And then David Njoku, who can't catch passes, which is kind of important.
Trey Burton, where he's getting drafted at, he fits right in that tier with Kyle Rudolph, Delaney Walker, like those tight ends that, and he could jump. He has upside to be a top 5 tight end, but he also could blow up in your face. He very well touchdown pass though.
Yeah, he's those TDs.
Is it gonna be the Chicago special now?
Yeah, maybe. We don't know that. I do like him more than I like Kyle Rudolph and Jordan Reed. And those guys are getting taken a little bit before him. And my justification for that is Jordan Reed's always hurt. We've talked about this time and time again, how Jordan Reed could easily be a top 5 tight end, maybe even a top 3 tight end if he could stay healthy. But that's never happened, unfortunately, for a guy who's just got all the talent in the world. And Kyle Rudolph is just – he's your Jamal Williams of tight ends, like a plotter. He doesn't get you excited. He catches some passes. He'll probably finish as a top 10 tight end. But I think there's more upside for Trey Burton and what he can do whenever he's going to be utilized in a Travis Kelce type role. We know he's not Travis Kelce. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that's how they plan on utilizing him. So for me, the upside over Kyle Rudolph is definitely there. The other guys that are going above him, I'm still not sold on Evan Ingram. I know you are, Brad. But
I don't think Evan Ingram had the year that he had last year because last year he fell into a perfect storm. Exactly. Because he was the only target there because every wide receiver broke an ankle.
So that should be good then.
Well, not for Evan Ingram's value.
Because if you look at target share last year, Evan Ingram was the number 1 target in the Giants. So I think people are jumping on him a little higher than he should be because Odell is going to be back. And I don't know if you guys seen this, but Odell's dancing. He's ready to go.
Oh, he's juking and jiving. I like Odell.
What about Shepard?
Sterling Shepard's a good wide receiver too.
We can save that for our NFC East breakdown, though, guys.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so anyway, after that, there's really not a whole lot to talk about in Chicago. I mean, you got Antonio Galloway there.
You're not going to talk about Benny Fowler?
No one cares about Benny Fowler.
He had a couple good games.
He did.
In his career?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, not a whole lot to talk about there. So I think that's...
Talk about Anthony Miller?
Yeah, the rookie?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Really no reason to talk about Anthony Miller.
Wow, you are not high on the Browns.
I mean, if you take the training wheels off Mitchell Trubisky, there's
Yeah.
going to have to be a second receiving option there.
Not really.
Second wide receiver. I'm not saying that
Yeah,
you're
Trey
gonna
Burton
start,
and Allen Robinson.
you're not going to start every week, but
And Tariq Cohen.
yeah, Anthony Miller could be that guy.
I'm talking about guys who I feel are important. Anthony Miller is just not important to me. So anyway,
I understand.
Minnesota Vikings.
Woo!
Yeah. You guys ready for the hype train? 'Cause
Yeah.
Minnesota's got a lot of it.
Yeah, they do.
I'm ready.
Didn't they sign somebody this offseason? Quarterback?
Trevor Siemian?
No.
That's the one.
He's very talented.
He is. But he's going to be QB2 to Kirk Cousins.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that guy. So, yep, they had 3 options, I guess you can call them, at quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater and Case Keenum and Sam Bradford. So, naturally, they're going to get rid of all 3 and go after Kirk Cousins.
Bingo. That's what I would do.
Yep.
Go away from
I think Bill Parcells said if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have no quarterbacks.
Bingo.
Interesting.
So you need a solid number 1 quarterback.
Yes, I get it.
Okay.
I get it. Well, they have one now in Kirk Cousins. His ADP is 87, which is the QB8 taken off the board. Which, if you believe all the hype around Minnesota this year, you're pretty pumped to getting Cousins that late because he's probably going to be, he's a QB1 in your team, wherever you're drafting him. But he could be up there with Watson, Rodgers, and Brady if he continues to just sling the ball, see his full potential, and has those great weapons around him. Anything to add on Kirk Cousins?
I think the hype's a little high for Kirk Cousins this year. People saying 4,000 yards and all this.
Hype's high on Minnesota.
Yeah, I just don't see them with the defense they have, and they're wanting to win a Super Bowl. He's going to be, I know everybody hates this word, it's a bad word, more of a game manager than he was at. But you're a Patriots fan, you understand it too. Like,
No, I have Tom Brady. I don't understand game managers.
you do.
No.
You won the first 3 Super Bowls you won. He was a game manager. He wasn't doing what
he was the MVP in 2 of them. So
because that year that he set all those records, did he win the Super Bowl?
didn't need to.
Didn't need to win a Super Bowl?
That's right. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
moving on from Kirk Cousins, more than a game manager.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I don't think
But everyone
4,000
else-
yards. I think his touchdown numbers could go up, his interception numbers could go down, which still makes him a top flight quarterback this year. I just don't think 4,000 yards is going to be a thing.
All right. Well, we'll see how that green shirt goes with the purple. You guys know that, right? He wears his Michigan State jersey underneath his jersey.
I do now.
You really didn't know that?
I think I've heard it before.
You can see it on every... All right. Anyway. You literally see it on every game that he plays with the Redskins. All right. Running backs. Dalvin Cook, the Florida State product. The injury return. ADP of 14, which is running back 10. Only setback here is obviously his health. But if you can get him in the mid-second round and he's healthy, then that's a great steal. The only area of concern is the health.
And health. You said back from injury. I think every year at Florida State, that was their preseason. Oh, Dalvin Cook's back healthy.
Then
Dalvin
he
Cook's
should be
back.
very familiar with this scenario.
I know, but the problem is the team ready for it?
Oh, yeah. This is bad because the upside is there, guys. The talent is there.
It is. We saw it last year.
But you know what isn't? The knees.
Yeah, but running backs need their knees.
Exactly.
Last time I checked.
So are you guys going to draft him if he's there mid-second round?
No.
Really?
No.
Brad?
Not in the second round, no.
He's not going to be there in the third. Someone's going to draft him in the second.
Somebody will. And like I said, he can. That's a pick you're going to make, and it could make or break your draft. Like, if he comes through like he did last year for those first, 6 games, and he stays healthy all season, you're loving it. But if anything happens, Because was his injury a non-contact last year too?
It was an ACL injury.
Yeah, I don't think he even got hit, right? He was just making a cut and he went down. Yeah, so it was a non-contact. And non-contact injuries do scare me because it does take a while to come back. But we have seen another, Minnesota running back have a similar injury, and he came back and did.
We're not comparing Dalvin Cook to Adrian Peterson.
Why not?
They wear the same colors.
That doesn't. Okay, well,
It's true. And then you got Latavius Murray, who's ADP at 140, running back 60. He's not a 3-down back, but he's the second guy on the chart to Dalvin Cook, who, again, health. So they could limit his touches to keep him healthy. But if and when he gets injured, bingo, Latavius Murray, running back 1. But I think I can see them bringing in another guy to help with the workload now that McKinnon's gone.
yeah. So the thing is like, I'm not really big on taking, handcuffs. There are certain situations where you're almost obligated to. Like if you have a guy, you're drafting number 1 overall, number 2 overall, and you have, like Le'Veon Bell, and you're in 12-team league, 14-team league, you almost need that handcuff if anything happens to him, right? Because your whole team is kind of based around this guy. And Dalvin Cook is the same way. If you take him, you almost need Latavius Murray. And I actually really like Latavius Murray, what he did last year. I like the value that he represents. And when Dalvin Cook gets hurt, not if he does, Latavius Murray is going to be that guy who's going to go in there and he's going to get you those carries. I like him.
Yeah, Latavius Murray's better. Only thing I have a problem with the handcuff is Latavius Murray's actually, we've seen him be a capable fantasy running back before. With the Le'Veon Bell and all that stuff, be careful when you're drafting a handcuff because if Le'Veon Bell goes down, I don't expect his backup to do nowhere near what Le'Veon Bell does. I would rather take another running back that I could just plug in there that would be probably better than Le'Veon Bell's backup. So that's my strategy when you're drafting kind of thing with handcuffs. Like I don't like the handcuff. I'll just have another running back on my team that I can plug in there.
I think I would agree with that strategy.
But he does draft Johnny Manziel in every draft, so.
Yep. And I won last year, right?
Strategies aren't always solid. Well, you didn't draft him last year.
Moving on to wide receivers. We got Adam Thielen, ADP at 29. Wide receiver 12. 2016 was a productive year. 2017, he had a great year, so people are very high on him in 2018, especially with Cousins under center. But I agree with Brad. 3rd round seems high because people are drafting him way too high because I think he's the wide receiver 1. So you can just let the other people in your league draft Adam Thielen way too high. You probably want him on your team, like me and Josh. We like Adam Thielen. We don't like him in the 3rd round.
No. And you're going to talk about the guy next who is, I think, the number 1. Adam Thielen was big when Stephon Diggs got hurt. When they both were on the field, Adam Thielen's numbers were okay, but they weren't top 10 wide receiver numbers. They were more wide receiver 2 numbers. Maybe wide receiver 3.
Yeah. No, he was wide receiver 2 numbers, but he's not the guy who you go and target. I mean.
He's very good wide receiver 2 numbers.
Oh, yeah, very, very good.
Which is why people are thinking he's going to, he's.
But with Stephon Diggs on the field, his numbers dropped a lot.
Exactly.
A lot. And people see the end of year numbers. They don't look at week by week and what the situations were and why stuff happened. I just want people to remember that. Stephon Diggs is the number 1 there, who I'm thinking I'll just transition you into talking to him by him.
Well, he's an ADP 34, which means he's going 5 picks after Adam Thielen, wide receiver 16. 2017 had a great year, and of course, those injuries, setbacks, but still had a good year. And of course, the catch in the NFC Championship game. How can we forget?
Kind of important.
Yep, going right there with Thielen. So if you can get Diggs after Thielen, maybe a 4th round guy. No, I would take Diggs in the 3rd round. I wouldn't take Thielen in the 3rd round. Any higher than that is probably a reach on Diggs.
If Diggs stays healthy, if he plays 16 games,
I hate the ifs.
We are looking at him being a top 10 wide receiver this year.
Oh.
So you're taking him in the 2nd round.
With Kirk Cousins.
Oh, I don't know.
With a better quarterback under center.
You taking him in the 2nd round?
If I went wide receiver in the 2nd round. And
late 2nd round?
Yeah. I'm not taking him before Larry Fitzgerald.
Interesting.
But I'll probably take him before a Tyreek Hill.
Or Adam Thielen.
Ooh. Maybe even before a Josh Gordon. Because I think Stephon Diggs has proved more in the last couple of years than Josh Gordon has.
Not a fair assessment, but yeah, you're right.
I mean, he's actually on the field.
Yeah.
With Josh Gordon, you're worried about one failed drug test, and you just lost your 2nd round pick.
Very true.
Forever.
Yes, well. Yeah.
Forever.
Yes, forever. Kendall Wright and Laquan Treadwell. Do you guys remember Laquan Treadwell?
Yeah, he was supposed to be everything.
He was supposed to be everything. He played for Ole Miss. Josh, you remember him at SEC?
Yeah. I keep getting him confused with the guy who just went to New England.
Oh, Cordell Patterson?
Yeah, Cordell Patterson. Because they're basically the same guy. But the main thing I remember about him is that nasty leg injury that he got in college, and that's partially why he hasn't really developed, I think. Kind of got off to a slow start, and then he's just, from what I understand, he's not very smart.
I think he just needs to change scenery. I think he's just, the coaching staff doesn't like him like they used to.
But now he has Kirk Cousins. Is Kirk Cousins the key to unlock his potential?
No, not with those other two wide receivers there.
Yeah, I was going to say, how many times has Kirk Cousins produced, 3 top receivers?
How many times
has he produced 2?
How many times?
Produced 1.
I think
Who's he had?
Pierre Garçon, right? When he had Pierre Garçon?
I don't think he was a wide receiver.
Deshaun Jackson? DJX?
I don't think he's ever produced a wide receiver 1. Wide receiver 2s, yes.
Oh, well.
I think Treadwell has better talent than those guys, though. Maybe not Jackson.
Yeah, but when the coaching staff doesn't like you and doesn't put you on the field and doesn't design plays for you, it's really hard to produce.
Maybe Kirk Cousins was like him. They're paying him a lot of money.
They are.
All right, the other guy is Kendall Wright, ADP 184.
Don't care.
Don't care?
Nope.
Don't care. Not even
Another guy that could flourish in Cousins? No?
Nope.
Don't care.
Fine. We'll finish off with Kyle Rudolph, ADP of 73, tight end number 7 taken. Second tier tight end guy. But could have, possibly, an explosive year with Cousins in-house. The only thing that could affect his production is the amount of players that are great talents in Minnesota. You got that awesome backfield. You obviously got those 2 wide receivers we already talked about. So those could take away some numbers from Kyle Rudolph. However, could he creep up to maybe the top 5 in tight ends?
Well, creep up. He was tight end 6 last year. So he doesn't need to creep much.
He's a creep.
Yeah.
Fine.
I know that.
Fine. I'll stretch it even further.
Okay.
Top 3.
Okay,
Could he be?
In PPR, Kyle Rudolph was tight end 8 last year. And everybody said he had a down year.
So we'll stay in division. Jimmy Graham or Kyle Rudolph?
Jimmy Graham.
You're taking Graham first.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham. But I do like Kyle Rudolph's ADP better than
Jimmy Graham's. Now, if you're saying with their ADP, where I can wait on Rudolph, I'm probably going to wait and take Rudolph.
I'm going to take Rudolph,
okay.
The end zone reindeer.
That's fair. And that wraps up the NFC North. If you have any comments or concerns that you want to throw our way, go ahead and tweet at us at EmptyWagonFF.
Don't tweet at me.
And we might get back to you. Well, we probably will. We're very responsive to our fans. Anyway, anything to add real quick about the NFC North?
We kind of talked about Dalvin Cook a lot. I know we keep putting the injury bug on him. He could turn his career around, and maybe he does. Because, we talk about Frank Gore, how every year he's there, and you think he's Mr. Reliable. But I know when he was in Miami, he had a bunch of knee injuries and a bunch of knee surgeries. And he ended up being reliable and still playing in the NFL. So I don't want to just put the injury bug on him after 1 year.
Well, it's not after 1 year. We go back to college with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But 1 year in the NFL.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, so Minnesota, Super Bowl favorite out of the NFC.
Not if Rodgers is healthy.
Well, we shall see. Time for that ADP love-hate segment. PPR ADP of 20,000 through 50. We have our love guys, we have our hate guys, and now we're going to talk about them. Brad, we'll start with you because we already hit on one of your guys. Allen Robinson is your love at ADP 47, and your hate is Rashad Penny at ADP 41.
Yep. Rashad Penny, everybody's, he's going to be a 3-down back. Chris Carson's still there. Reports in camp are that Chris Carson's going to be the starting running back week 1.
Still early, but yeah.
They still have a terrible line. I don't know what's going on there, but I just don't like Rashad Penny like everybody else does. You can get, I know these names aren't going to be flashy, but going right after him is Kenyon Drake, who I think has a better chance to be a number 1 running back than, a starting running back than Rashad Penny.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram, who still last year, even with Kamara, he's still going to get the workload.
I do like that.
And then Mr. RB2 himself, Lamar Miller, sitting there.
Freaking hate him.
So, if I'm drafting there.
But I'd rather have him than Penny.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
It's a safer pick.
Yeah.
It's a better pick.
Yeah, with Penny, you are throwing a lot of your eggs in a basket.
It's not a good basket.
coach who never tells the truth too, Pete Carroll. So
You leave Pete out of this.
But Allen Robinson, we talked about him a lot. I just think the offense is going to be better there. And that's where I was going to cue Josh to talk about Jeff Fisher, John Fox, same person. But
Dude, hate him so much. So much. Awful coaches.
All right. Josh's love-hate. We got the love Tyreek Hill at 32, and you got the hate being thrown on Golden Tate at 47.
No. It's the other way around. I love Golden Tate, and I hate Tyreek Hill.
That's his fault.
well, you didn't respond to the text last night.
So maybe it's your fault.
Sorry, I went to sleep after I drove 3 days.
Yeah, shame on you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you hate Tyreek Hill at 32, and you love Golden Tate at 47.
Love Golden Tate. Love it. The value, like we've already talked about it. He finished as the 11th wide receiver overall last year. I don't know if you guys ever played in 12-team leagues, but if there's 11, that means he's a wide receiver 1. Okay, so his quarterback is the same.
Good math there.
4 years in a row, he's caught over 80 catches, and he's had over 4,000 yards in that time span. So the guys that are going around him, kind of gross. So I'm not going to take a Brandon Cooks over Golden Tate. I'm not going to take an Alshon Jeffrey over Golden Tate. I'm certainly not going to take a Juju Smith-Schuster over Golden Tate. I love his value. I don't like him as a person. I'm going to be clear on that. I think he's an awful person.
We don't have to like people as people.
Bingo. You don't have to like people as people. So I do love Golden Tate. I love his value that he presents. The guy that I don't like, Tyreek Hill. We've already talked about how Patrick Mahomes is going to have the most difficult schedule for NFL quarterbacks.
You're really banking on that schedule.
It's a fact. I'm not.
It's a fact going back to the last season.
But he's so
it's
fast.
It's a projection for 2018.
And Tyreek Hill is super fast, yes. But now Sammy's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce's still there.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
And we know that they're going to run the ball pretty well.
Well,
Pretty
they
well.
didn't middle of the season.
Pretty well. We're going to run pretty
But
well.
you got that arm, and you got that
Strong
speed.
arm.
Honestly,
If he's even as leaving.
So
Throwing the deuces up.
okay, well, Tyreek Hill to be the wide receiver 10 overall getting taken in drafts, that's too high.
He was wide receiver 9 last year.
Okay, but Sammy Watkins also wasn't there last year.
Yeah, you're right. He wasn't.
I think Sammy Watkins presents a better value. I mean, I see the guys that are going after him. Adam Thielen, Doug Baldwin, T.Y. Hilton. If Andrew Luck is healthy, obviously, that's what we're banking on. I like all those guys more than I like Tyreek Hill. I think that his value is it's just not good. And if you're taking him as your wide receiver 1, you're going to end up regretting that later on. He's not going to fall to the point where he's going to give you a good value. I'd shoot for Sammy Watkins, to be honest with you. I'd wait and take him later.
Yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying. The value, the draft price you're paying for Tyreek Hill is pretty high because this is a 3rd-round pick. Probably is what you're probably going to have to take to get him.
Yeah, or late second. Yeah. And that's just, it's too high for a guy who I feel like is going to regress this year.
But if you get special teams touchdowns and all that, he does. He's fast.
He's very fast. We've established that, yes.
You go with your love-hate over there, Josh.
Well, yeah, the problem here is that we're not talking about we don't like the player. We're talking about we don't like the value.
Yeah, I know that.
And that's it. I like Tyreek Hill, the player, but I hate where he's getting drafted. Same thing like you were discussing with Adam Thielen.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I just want to clarify. I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying Tyreek Hill's a bad player.
No, he's a great player.
You would just rather wait a couple rounds and
Absolutely.
get a comparable
It's understandable.
Yeah.
All right, my love is Amari Cooper at ADP 40. And hate is Darius Geis, another rookie running back, at 34. Oh, my God, that's so high for Darius Geis. That's insanely high. You have Chris Thompson there. And you got Samaje Perine. And Rob Kelly's still on a rookie contract. So you got 3 guys, well, 4 if you count Geis, that are on a rookie contract.
I agree.
What do you think he's going to do?
I agree. I agree with you 100%.
I'm not yelling at you guys, but that's a crazy high.
And there's a reason that he slid in that draft.
Yeah, I mean, he's talented, but there's so much hype around him that you can only go down. It's a bar knife. Calm down.
No, I just hurt my teeth.
Oh,
she's just chomping down on that butt. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So that's all I got to say about guys. Just crowded backfield, way too high ADP.
All right, let's just clarify because people heard knife and chomping down on teeth. Elsie's just eating some peanut butter off like a putty knife. Don't worry. We're not stabbing the dog.
No, this is just to keep her quiet. It's just a little bit at a time. I'm not like giving her a whole bottle. No dogs were harmed in the making of the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. She's perfectly fine. She's a very happy dog. At Elsa the Aussie.
We're down with PETA.
And then my love is Amari Cooper. because his ADP is 40.
Because you drank too much last night.
No, I didn't drink at all, actually. ADP is 40. Amari Cooper is going to be the feature wide receiver in John Gruden's offense in Oakland.
I thought that was Jordy Nelson.
Nope. Amari Cooper's a feature. He loves his talent. He loves what he can do on the football field. Derek Carr is the only variable change there in that equation. What kind of Derek Carr are you going to get this year? But if you get a decent Derek Carr, you're going to get a great Amari Cooper. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. The only issue I have with that, I understand you're saying you love him at 40.
I love him overall, but yes, definitely at 40.
Yeah. I just don't see me taking any wide receiver that's above him before him, like that's getting drafted before him. Like I would not draft, like where he's at in the rankings, being the 16th wide receiver off the board, and I look at all the other wide receivers, I'm probably taking every one of those before him. Like there's nowhere, like I would say, like I might reach on him or anything. So I guess 40, like you said, is a good value for him, but it's not too low, is what I'm getting at. That's probably about where I would take him normally if I drafted him. I might even go with my love, Allen Robinson instead. Amari Cooper, he reminds me, I mean, they went to Alabama, so the comps are there, to Julio Jones. He's going to have huge weeks and he's going to have bad weeks, and that's what he does. You pretty much have to put him in line.
Had.
He's been in the league 3 years now, and that's what he does.
Nope.
Okay. Well.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like you have to put him in your lineup, right, Josh? Because the one time you didn't put him in your lineup,
new system,
that's when he went
new
off.
coach.
Still won that week, though.
Crabtree's gone. He's the feature wide receiver. It could be different this year.
So
that's what I'm trying to say.
Catch percentage.
So catch percentage is awful. And you've talked about your love for Jordy Nelson. So the thing with Jordy Nelson is that he's not going to be the guy streaking down the field anymore. He's going to be the guy that they're going to utilize where?
Slot.
In the red zone.
In slot.
And the red zone.
Just like Crabtree.
I'm high on Oakland. I like Jordy Nelson where he's going.
You're high on something.
Oh, my God.
Just giving you
know what? Go ahead.
We're just giving you
This is July. Come December, y'all going to be giving me that title buzz?
I actually do like Amari Cooper. I'm just kind of...
Yeah, you drafted him in our Dynasty League.
Yeah, like I like Amari Cooper. There is upside there. I just don't want everybody... I don't want anybody taking him earlier because we like him where he's at. I don't think you need to reach for him. Take him when he falls to
you. If you want to win your league, you take him.
Okay.
Yeah, where he falls to you. But if you reach for him, you're going to probably get burnt.
Mm-hmm.
It's like reaching for the
I
stars.
reluctantly agree with that statement.
It's a fact.
All right, that wraps up our ADP love-hate. Again, that's for PPR folks, so obviously numbers and projections
Stay
will
away
change.
from those rookie running backs. Not named
Yeah,
Saquon.
oh my gosh. Please stay away from Penny and Geis that early anyway, of course, at the right price, later rounds. Sure. Maybe take a chance on them.
Honestly, I think the reason all these rookie running backs taken so early is because of last year. We had all these rookie running backs come out of nowhere. It's similar to the thing when Odell came out. Odell and Mike Evans. We had awesome rookie wide receivers that did really good, so everybody was drafting rookie wide receivers the next couple of years and getting burnt by it. It's a similar thing. We had Kareem Hunt go off last year. We had Alvin Kamara. Leonard Fournette was still very serviceable. Dalvin Cook was good when he was healthy. Christian McCaffrey. We had all these rookie running backs that were like, oh my gosh, they're so great. So this year, people are looking for the same thing, same trends to happen.
And I think it could take a year or two for these guys to really...
I don't think these guys, other than Saquon, their talent's not what those other players were.
Well, carry on.
You just said you didn't like him.
Anything to add to this episode here of NFC North episode? Anything you guys want to final comments?
Marcel Darius also got in a little bit of trouble, and that does hurt Jacksonville's ability to stop the run. Yeah. I just wanted to throw that out there because I know we didn't mention it, but if you're looking at defenses and they were the number one defense last year, that hurts their value.
And since we did cover the NFC North, I think defenses ranked in there would be Vikings first, and then don't touch another defense. Maybe Chicago, but no, I wouldn't touch another defense.
Yeah.
You got Patricia in Detroit now.
Yeah,
yep, but you still have the same players.
Minnesota. We'll go with Minnesota.
Yeah, and that's about the only defense in that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps up the NFC North episode here at the Empty Wagon Fantasy Football Podcast. And from all of us here at the show, thanks again for tuning in to another episode. Join us next week when we break down the NFC East and throw in some more ADP love-hate. If you want to hit us up during the week, find us on Twitter at JackJonesForBrad, at FFJoshHughes for Josh, and at HattrickPat37 for myself. Have a great week, everyone, and stay tuned for more takes.
Later.
Same time next week, knuckleheads.